Hey everyone, I'm on just a little bit early for those of you that follow me live. I couldn't wait. I just want to come on a little early. So grab your water bottle. We're going to continue with our freedom series. I might have already talked about this topic, but I'm going to talk about it again. I kind of looked back on the videos. I don't think I've done it, but I don't know. We'll just see where it goes. I want to talk about freedom in the present. The last one was freedom in the process. Process is always fun, isn't it? Woo! I'm in a we're always in process. I feel like I'm in the midst of a lot of processes right now. But the freedom in the present moment, and I have really experienced this week, finding myself going back into the past with my mind and with my focus, and finding myself straining to try to figure out what the future is going to bring. And in both of those places, I lose my peace. There is absolutely no freedom in the past, and there's absolutely no freedom trying to make something happen or figure out what's going to happen in the future. And so I have found that when through focused effort, I can stay in the present. It is the only time that I truly, truly, truly feel free. And often eating and drinking and wanting to check out often comes from spending too much time in the past or in the future. Things that are out of our control. And so, when they're out of our control, we want to comfort ourselves or we want to feel control or to create some sense of control. So, we try to do that with our environment, with our actions. Sometimes it's just the certainty of knowing that food makes us feel a certain way, or it's always there for us, or whatever that looks like. So, I just want to give a really short message about finding freedom in the present moment. So, how do we do that? Well, go to the Word of God, and I keep reminding myself of all the stories and all the ways that God illustrates to us how He gives us exactly what we need in the present moment. When the disciples asked Jesus how to pray, and it was our Father, the prayer that most of us know, even if you're not a big church goer. Most people know the Our Father, and in there it's give us our daily bread. Daily bread, meaning every day, meaning that it's not bread for next week, it's not bread for tomorrow, it's not bread for next year. It's literally just what we need today. And when the Israelites were traveling around in the desert, right, they received manna from heaven. So every day they came out and the manna would be spread on the ground and they would pick up what they needed for that day. And they couldn't carry anything over to the next day. If they tried to store some for the next day, it would have maggots. They literally could not keep it for longer than one day because every day God was providing that. Every day they received what they needed. And so I just find so much comfort in that because I think our journey with the Lord and the building of trust comes with trusting us with the moment that we have right now, knowing that if He's given me what I need for right now, like I have enough strength for today, I have enough joy for today, I have enough peace for today, but all I have is for today. And I have to trust that if God's given me what I need in this moment, that He's going to give it to me tomorrow when tomorrow comes. And it talks about in the Bible how we're not supposed to be toiling and thinking about how things are going to turn out and how am I going to get food and how am I going to do this, that God, just like He provides for everything that He's created, how much more would He not provide for us, His children, the thing that He created that said is very good. So there's something about the freedom of the present moment. And I know that some of you feel what it feels like to go back into the past, to go to regret, to go unforgiveness, coulda, woulda, shoulda, mulling over things that can't be changed. And how many of you spend time in the future? How am I going to provide? How is this going to show up? How's this relationship going to end up? Am I ever going to be able to do this? What about the dreams that I have? And spending all that energy there. And I feel like the Lord is impressing on me that I need to hear this message and somebody else needs to hear this message, that we find freedom when we can live in the present moment and we can trust that God has given me just enough for this moment. Now, I heard a really great message today, and I'm not going to do it justice, but it is something that has kind of hung on to me for the last few hours. So I want to share it with you. A lot of times when we pray, we're trying to pray for the whole solution, right? I'm praying a lot for my love life right now. I feel like God has created me with such a big heart and a passion, and I want a godly marriage, and I want to have a family for Berlin. And so I'm wondering like how this is all going to unfold. And unfortunately, I'm not going to get it all at once, right? It's going to be a process. It's going to unfold. It's going to be meeting someone, getting to know them. It's going to be building a relationship. It's going to be finding out about each other. Are we compatible? And that's going to be through the process of time. So only time's going to be able to lead me to the path that God has for me. But so often we want all of it, right? We want all of it right now. We want all of the financial security. We want to know how this whole thing with COVID is going to end up. We want to know what our next job move is going to be. We want to know how our health journey and how all this weight's going to fall off. Like we want all of it. And that's our fleshiness. And that's where we lose our peace. And we have no freedom there. And what I have found is that if I know that God is a light for my feet, that means that there's darkness. Okay, if he's a light for my feet, that means that there's darkness. So all he's doing is illuminating that next step. And so it can feel very dark. It can feel heavy. It can feel uncertain. It can feel fearful. It can feel all these things that many of us are feeling, but he is a light to our feet. Okay, a lamp for our feet. So he is just giving me that next step. He's just giving you that next step. And that next step is right now, this present moment, whether it's watching this, whether it's taking care of your baby, whether it's being there for your husband, whether it's just celebrating, maybe it's being sad right now, maybe it's walking through grief, maybe it's going through the feeling of knowing that you have changes that are coming on, but you're sitting in uncertainty. He's going to give you enough for this precious moment that you're sitting in right now. So, what I have to do and what we have to do as believers and as people who are committed to walking in freedom is that we have to believe that what we have is enough and that when we need something else, He's going to give it to us. Because when I look back on my life, guys, I have never not had enough. I've never not had enough. Now, it may not have been what I wanted it to be. It may not have looked the way. It may not have looked like overflowing abundance financially or wherever. However, the Lord has never left me without enough of what I needed in the moment. And so if he's provided all the way up to this point, how much more or why would he stop now? You know, he has started a good work in us that he's going to finish. So he's not going to stop now. And what I found is that the more that I trust him, the less I am on my agenda. So here's the second part of the message. There's freedom in the present moment because when we're free in the present moment to just believe that God's giving me everything I need right now, I don't need to bring up my past and I don't need to figure out my future. I just need to do what God has in front of me and he's going to give me everything I need. Then what it does is it keeps our agenda out of it. Because a lot of times we move forward with our agenda, which may not be God's agenda. So then we're actually going against what God has for us because we're trying to figure out our future. We're trying to make it happen the way that we want it to happen. But we don't find freedom there because a lot of times not all the time when we're going against God's will, it's hard. It doesn't work out. It ends up falling apart. It ends up not being sustainable. So a lot of this I'm going to apply to your health journey. A lot of you have gained and lost weight a lot of times and it hasn't been sustainable because you did your plan. You did what you wanted to do. You did what Susie was doing and you trusted her and what worked for her more than what God has for you. And so you went down that path and yeah, it started feeling good. And you're like, yeah, I got a system. I got a plan. I'm in control. Oh, look, I'm getting a little bit of results. But then at some point, because it wasn't God's plan and he's going to do something in you through his plan, it ends up not working. And now you're right back to square one or you're further back and you're thinking, oh, what's going on? So I love the freedom. And again, I struggle with this. I struggle with this all the time. But when I can get myself like, he just has enough for me today. So all I have to do is today. All I have to do is a Straight Talk Sunday right now. That's all I have to do. And Lord, you have my next step. I don't need to make anything happen. You have my present moment. And whatever I need or I'm going to need, you're going to provide it when I need it. But Lord, just give me what I need right now. and that He is always good to provide that. So, just a little bit of encouragement for you about the freedom of the present moment in the craziness that is all around us right now. If you're watching this pretty recent to when I posted, we've got COVID, we've got fires, we've got riots, we've got crazy things going on. I have to trust not in what I want to make out of my future or how I think all of this needs to unfold or what I think the outcome needs to be, but instead trusting that God has given me what I need right now in this moment, and He will provide for me when I need it in the next moment. And if I need something different, He will give it to me. And I don't need to go other places to get it. I don't need to find my peace on CNN. I don't need to find my peace on Fox News. I don't need to find my peace in another person. I don't need to find my answers or my solutions in food or doing things that, might make me feel good in the moment but end up, wreaking havoc. That He is literally what I need in the present moment. So that's what I have. Short and sweet, Straight Talk Sunday. We're going to continue on this topic of freedom. For those of you that are following along live, I have a Food, Faith, and Freedom challenge going on. Make sure that you join that. It does not have to be perfect. You're like, oh, but I can't do it Wednesday, or oh, no excuses. Okay, this is truly a gift. I would really encourage you, if you've been praying for something to kind of kickstart you back into whatever it is that you think that you need each day. Okay, you're going to be able to meet with God in that present moment, watch a video, do the challenge, and it'll be something that I know will bless you wherever you're at in your journey. Okay? All right, everyone. Thanks for listening.